Good afternoon, good morning. This is Ms. Johnson Alexander for Adaptive PE Week 2. I have basically, first I'm going to start off with handouts. You'll pick these up from Miss Bean Thursday or Friday. Put some of them up on D2L. Actually, I've only put one up on D2L. The other ones you have to get from her. But lesson plan, this form is up on D2L. You will be doing lesson plans on a regular basis for this class, dealing with different populations of students. Maybe it be visually impaired, hearing impaired. It'll be they're all in the syllabus. This right here, the past objectives, you've gotten this in my other classes dealing with physical education, and it is a thick document. It's 17 pages front and back. If you already have it, then just from my other classes or any other classes with Miss Bean, then keep it. It's the same information. The past objectives tell you what standards you're supposed to be meeting for the state of Oklahoma. So past objectives, go to the website for the State Department of Education. The website is in your on your syllabus. I believe on the front page. This right here is the NASB standards. These standards are in Chapter 1 of the APE textbook. But I do have a hard copy of those. You have to include those on your lesson plan. You have to match up your past objective with your NASB standard. And also you have, this is a handout given at a Wafer Convention, tips and tricks. This is given from by John Thompson. It is from U.S. Games. This is a handout that you'll get from Miss Bean. It has basically how to run a class, how to run certain games, what the object is of the game. And you have to remember that just because you're dealing with middle schoolers, you may be dealing with middle schoolers, 7th and 8th grade, for example. They are not on, the students might not be mentally on 7th and 8th grade level. They may not be physically developed for 7th and 8th grade activities that a regular ed student can do. So you have to use your brain. Something that can help you is, of course, the book, number one. But the book will talk about how the disease process or the disability, how it works, what it is. And then the book will tell you how to teach that population of student. So, for example, if you have a group of kids with cerebral palsy, kids that have had stroke, kids that have had traumatic brain injuries, they'll tell you what all those things mean. The book will tell you what those things mean, what they are, prevalence, and then it will tell you how to teach that population. That's what you need to key in on, is how to teach that population. So sometimes with cerebral palsy, their brains can be fine. They understand what you're saying. They can speak well. But physically, they can't control their movements very fluidly. And so you have to modify the activities that you find and games that you find to suit that population. Now, one of the things you're going to be modifying, the biggest things you're going to modify, the size of your materials. So if you're using a ball, don't just think of a regular size basketball or soccer ball or ball. Think of beach balls. Think of extra large balls. Think of bright colored balls for those that are visually impaired. Things that have a noise maker inside of them, and for those that again are visually impaired, they can listen to the sound. Different textures. So that's what you have to think about in this class, is what do I need to modify about my materials to teach this whatever population of student you're dealing with. Other materials, it could be, of course, taking off a time limit, taking off scoring, letting students, your lower basketball goals or things of that nature. have bigger bowling pins if you're dealing with bowling. And also, don't just think about sports. Think about activities. This handout tips and tricks are not just games. You all like to think, a lot of students like to think about regular games like soccer and basketball and soccer, basketball, tennis, your regular games. But in adaptive PE, you're not looking at games. Regular sports, I'm sorry. You're looking at games and activities. So it could be walking across a balance beam. That is great for them. Also, you could set up stations, because if they have a traumatic brain injury or some type of mental retardation, they're not going to be focused on an activity for more than 2 or 3 minutes. Their attention spans, they can't focus on it. So if you have stations set up around your gym, they can go from playing and shooting a basketball to walking across a balance beam to shooting a hockey puck into a goal that you have set up, to bowling. There's circuits that they'll go around to. So in this class, you have to get out of your comfort zone, and you have to think like the population of student that you're teaching. Okay, some of these handouts will help you do that. And doing the class visits, the site visits will help you do that and understand the kids more. Now, in chapter 1, they talk about the laws and things and give you a little history of adaptive PE. You need to key in on the laws and the policies. IDEA, there's 1975, and then they amended it in 2004. You know what IDEA stands for. Of course, ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act. You'll see things like Least Restrictive Environment, LRE. All these acronyms, you need to know what they stand for, because that's the way we talk in adaptive PE. IEP, Individualized Education Plan or Program. So you need to get used to those words and those acronyms, because you'll have to go and understand an IEP for a student. Now, 504 plan, you understand that is temporary. That's if a student might have a broken arm or broken leg. Whatever the disability is, it's temporary. And they might not fall under IDEA, but they'll fall under the 504 plan to get modifications. Okay? Well, they might not qualify for an IEP, I'm sorry, but they do qualify for 504. Okay? So that's it with chapter 1 that I'm going to give you. It's more so getting these well, not more so, but understanding the laws and the policies and all this terminology. So you need to quiz yourself over. There's boxes that have the policies written nice and neat. You need to quiz yourself over those policies and those laws to understand. Make sure you can match up each policy or law with its definition. That's what you need to be able to do, is do the matching game. I believe that's all I have for right now with chapter 1. And of course, your assignment is to outline your chapters. Keep it in your notebook. Excuse me. All information is handwritten, and I need that just to remain in your notebook. And I'll pick it up. I'll collect notebooks February 20th. I'll see you all again in class, in person. So I'll collect the notebooks, and I need to see all the outlines for a grade. And that grade will go towards your midterm grade. You will not have any tests in this class until I get there personally. You will not have any quizzes. You'll just have assignments. There are things you will have to turn in to me. The only thing that'll stay in your notebook for the time being until February 20th are your course outlines. Okay, so you can add to as you need to. And remember, everything is handwritten. And keep a copy for yourself, and a copy, and of course you'll turn in a copy to me, the original to me. Keep a copy for yourself and your records. Thank you.